Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard. Good guy, the co-host, Coach Berg, TD Tom, SID, behind the camera. Go ahead.
What?
It's yours. The floor is yours.
Got a W.
Yes.
Yeah.
First official one on the books as the men's coach here.
Yes.
How about it?
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
It was a busy Saturday.
To you and the guys.
Busy Saturday for everybody, but I'll selfishly say it was great opportunity for the guys to get a win.
Yep.
You know, I tried to remind them of that, and for some reason they weren't thrilled about it, where I thought you would be after starting 0-3 and actually for some of the guys not thinking you're going to have a season.
Right.
To be able to not just hold our own, but I thought we played pretty well.
Yeah.
Could have been better, but I mean that's true with anybody at any point in time. And they did the things that were necessary to get the W and preserve the win, and 1-3, and it was good. It was good all around. Although Vargas was coming off an injury, we didn't have him on Thursday against Union. I think if we have him on Thursday,
it's a different story, right?
That outcome's different, not just from the goalkeeping side of it, because Mo played the goal, did great for us. Then Tom Yesgro, who did not want to go in, and I said, well, it's either that or you don't play the second half. He said, Coach, I'll do it. Yeah. And then Tony Fuentes even went in. But by not having Aldo there, who's a goalkeeper presence, we also lose field players.
Right.
Yeah.
So that balance, especially with Guillermo. I mean, he's the Region 19 reigning, Conference Player of the Year. So we take that out of the mix, and it was a little bit tough. So I was happy to see that with that full strength, we were able to get a win against Northampton, and they're 5-3-2 coming into the game. So I mean, they had a lot of games in some season, but I think we finally. Opportunity to have 13 guys playing on a side for the first time all season.
It helps.
Yeah, so it was great.
Good. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're back at it yesterday.
Yesterday, which is really tomorrow.
Right.
From today's filming.
Wednesday. So
against Harcum College.
Yes.
The Bears are 12th in the country for NJCAA Division I.
Okay.
And Coach David Hughes, I've known for a long time, used to be at Burlington County, and they're really, really good. So we're going to go down and give it our best shot.
Keep your fingers crossed.
See what happens. If we play perfect and limit our mistakes, you never know on paper.
Right.
But it is tough traveling down there and getting on the road. It's a 1:00 game for a weekday, but that's just when their facility is available.
Okay.
So it's a little bit earlier than normal, but also somewhat of the same time that we play on the weekends.
Right.
And we train at 2 and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Speaking of the weekend, you're back at it Saturday.
Busy
home
week.
at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Yeah, Bucks County Community College. Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier game, we do have a home, volleyball tri-match, and the facility, at Shouts was available earlier in the morning, so we can get the game played against Bucks. That was a late addition.
Yep.
They had a common opponent as us that dropped their program earlier in the year, and we know those guys pretty well from all the years of when they were in Region 19.
Right.
But Justin Burrows I've known a long time, so they reached out. We were able to put it on, and
good.
I'm happy to see the guys get opportunity to play.
Right.
And for those sophomores to get some film. Opportunity for other college coaches to take a look, and hopefully they like what they see and we can move them on somewhere else.
Yeah, good. So LackawannaFalcons.com/live.
Yeah,
that's right.
That broadcast, 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
All right, and then you can watch volleyball at the same time. Just get 2 devices.
That's it, one on each side.
That's all that stuff too. So let's continue with volleyball. We had a nice tri-match victory Saturday.
Big.
Big Region 19, Division II Del Tech 5-setter again. And then we came back and beat Northampton the first time in 345 years.
Yeah, since what, 2010?
2010,
Is that right?
19 straight matches we had lost to them before this match.
No, that was 3-1, right?
That was a 3-1 victory. Yeah. So it was, but came back from 2-1 down to Del Tech to come up with a 5-set win. I know I talked to Coach Reese briefly afterwards, and she was thrilled with how they played in that match and how they kind of came back, and then they kind of just rode that momentum right into the Northampton match, and dropped the third set, but really didn't blink and had a really, really good fourth set to kind of run away with it. So now, coupled with a Lehigh Carbon loss, they're now on top of the EPAC standings, and they're still in first place in the Region 19 Division II standings.
Good, and most importantly for me, it was nice to see someone else host a tri-match on a Saturday.
But that was short. That's short-lived.
Yes.
As we have them back here this Saturday, for a tri-match.
Yes.
But yeah, it was great to see, and all the successes. What do we have? 14 wins on the year right now.
Yeah. Well, 13-4.
13-4. I mean, it's great. Such a turnaround, and Coach Reese has done a great job. And these girls, they work, and I'm usually here later in the afternoon, so I'm able to hear some of their practices.
Right.
And when it's business is business, but there's a really great balance of the business is business, but also having music playing during practice and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it was really
and
cool.
besides their tri-match on Saturday, they played 2 days ago today.
They do.
Yes. So they're playing
Against
today,
Harcum.
2 days ago. So,
Also against Harcum.
They're at Harcum.
On the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a big one, too.
Yep. So, Ferg, as
Results
you do.
here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and it is big because you get the sweep. Hopefully, if they get the win today, they sweep the season series with them.
Right.
We already did it with Del Tech. We still have Morris on the schedule.
Right.
At Morris on the 26th, I think, right, or the 23rd or 23rd.
Somewhere
Something
towards the
like
end of the
that, yeah.
season.
Something like that.
But it solidifies kind of what we were talking about,
Being
at
the
least
number
especially
ones.
with the region tournament. It solidifies your spot. Right now, I think we're in really good shape, obviously, with the win over Del Tech, but this kind of solidifies your spot, puts you at
Right.
5-0, would kind of solidify you at number one and,
Right.
and really give you that opportunity, that advantage, especially with us hosting the tournament,
Sure.
to be the number one seed.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. All right. So good luck volleyball.
Yeah, great times.
All right. Good. Let's stick with the women's
Well, we
sports.
still have them Saturday for a tri-match.
I'm not
That's
talking
right.
about
Let's
it.
talk about tri-match because Lehigh Carbon's involved in that, right?
Yes, it's Penn State Scranton and
Penn
Lehigh
State
Carbon.
Scranton and Lehigh Carbon, 10 a.m.
That's going to be
Yep.
that
Can't
Lehigh
wait.
Carbon match is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
That was a 5-set, really, really tight match
Tight.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I gotta sneeze. No, I don't. It's gone. It's back. I think I'm dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
it's
get
all
me
right.
sick. I already have we had a sick one at home yesterday.
Fine. It's fine. All right. We done
He's
with volleyball.
back at preschool though, baby.
There you go. Get him back on
All
the
right.
horse. Get
That's
him
it.
back in there.
Suck
Let's
it
go.
up, Buttercup.
That's it.
Let's
Game
go.
time.
All right.
Let's go. Let's stick with women's sports. Women's soccer played Saturday.
They did.
Lost a tight one.
Tough 3-2 loss to Essex County College, but I think a pretty good showing in the sense that we played Essex last game of the season last year, and I don't know if it was 11-0 maybe or something
I think
like
it was
that.
11. I think you're right.
So it's it was good to see the progress of the girls.
Right.
They fought really, really hard, playing down a player at two players.
Right.
at
When I
times. They
talked to
were-
Coach Bedurk
they
at
were
the football
down.
game, he
They
said
didn't
that they
have a-
thought they were full strength,
they-
that it might have been a different story.
No, yeah, but I mean they weren't. So unfortunately that happens, and it's a tough spot. So hopefully they can rebound and get everybody back to full strength. For when they play Sussex next week.
Right.
That'll be a home match for us on Tuesday. I'm actually still trying to get a game or two we can still add
Right.
up until 2 weeks before the last play date.
Okay.
Because sitting off from the 15th until the 31st is a little
a long time.
Yeah.
little long time. They haven't had a full slate of matches this year due to various reasons. So I'm really, putting in time to see if anybody wants to pick something up or anything like that. over the
I'm
next
sure you
2
can work
weeks.
your
So
magic.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an opportunity for the girls again to get some more playing time. So.
Yeah.
Right.
course.
Which is key and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, all right. I know you talked to Chris Campanelli yesterday, our
Oh,
athlete of the
all
week
right.
from a couple of times ago. Last week was athlete
right.
of the week.
Yeah, yep.
And then, so let's play that, and then
Sure.
we'll come back. We'll talk about football, and then our current athlete of the week because I don't think we've talked to him yet.
We haven't talked to him yet. We've
Yeah.
tried to, but we haven't
Right.
talked to him
Yeah,
yet.
we have to find him somewhere.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll be back in the Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, the Sports Information Director here at Lackawanna College, and we're catching up with our Lackawanna College Athlete of the Week, defensive tackle, defensive end now, the last couple games from the Lackawanna College football team. Chris Campanelli joining us on the program. Chris, how you doing?
Good. Pleasure to meet having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you along for the ride. Big couple weeks for you guys last 2 weeks. You were the Athlete of the Week from the Sussex game. Really led a great defensive effort, especially in the second half for the Falcons in the win over the Skylanders. And fresh off a really good defensive performance, I thought, against Monroe this past weekend. So 2 wins in a row, kind of righting the ship a little bit after the 2-game slide with Snow and GMC. How are you guys feeling heading into the bye week?
I feel like after 2 great wins, after all the distractions we had for the past 2 weeks, I feel like we kind of deserve this off of a great victory. So now we can all recover and keep pushing the train. Yeah.
Well, there was some extracurriculars, we'll say, that happened this past week that kind of disrupted a lot of the usual practices and classes and schedules, things like that. But you guys, I remember talking with the coaching staff, you guys went out and when you were able to practice, had some really good practices leading into Monroe. What was kind of the mindset and the mantra you guys were kind of telling each other to get ready for that game?
Like, what I always perspective myself, great teams don't mind distractions. So I always said to myself, if we can get through this, we can get through anything, any hard team, any struggle. So if we all played together how we were this week, I think we can go through anything.
Yep. Yeah, you guys will be tough to beat no matter what. Let's flash back a little bit of the Sussex game. 5 tackles for you in that game, had a couple big tackles for loss, really kind of led a defensive effort that at first it looked like you guys were going to be in a shootout, but really clamped down in the second half. We're able to hold the Skylanders down in the second half. I think it was 55 yards or whatever of total offense, and kind of gave the offense enough room to do what they had to do to extend the lead a little bit. You're along the defensive line. You've been playing a little more on the end now as opposed to tackle. What's kind of the difference between being that focus point to kind of being on the edge?
I feel like when I was in the center, I felt like I had more control of myself compared to the ends of the line, where I had a main responsibility compared to like playing the nose, because the nose I can make my own direction, but as a tackle or end, as the outside, I got to make sure that outside's always contained.
Right.
Like I always knew I had brothers behind me when I was in nose position.
Right. And with playing that end spot now, that also opens up for players like Coy to play at the defensive tackle spot, and combining you two up front, that has to feel like some sort of advantage.
Yeah.
Because you got that big guy right in the middle, and then you on the end, and you were able to get a couple tackles in, and then against Monroe, kind of the same thing, just continuously getting in the backfield and making plays. It feels like even if you're not getting the tackle, you're kind of sucking up the blocking, and that's allowing guys like Andrew and Nair and Gene to get into the backfield.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that.
And they get back there, they make plays, and that's kind of what happened with Monroe, as you guys were able to get that win. Does that win mean something too for you guys, considering that it is Monroe, kind of a rivalry matchup, and familiarity with a lot of the kids on that team?
I mean, yeah, like you said, a rivalry. It's always a big one for me. I love competition. Capelli and Monroe, we know a lot of them and know a lot of us, so it's kind of a great feeling that we won this one. Right,
and coming away with an impressive win like that. Let's talk a little bit about you, at least as far as playing football here at Lackawanna College. You started off as an offensive lineman a couple years ago, right?
Yeah,
and
correct.
Then you made the switch to defense. What kind of brought that about, and how do you feel it's gone so far?
So switching my freshman semester, 2023, was fresh to defense, but always in high school, because I came from a rural area. I came from 8-man football program, not 11-man program.
Right.
So it was a low population. So playing both sides of the ball, I really liked. So like either or, Coach Duda wanted me for offense or defense.
Right.
And then he saw offense wasn't really working out with me my freshman year, and then he swapped me over in the spring. But now understanding, like if I played the two, I feel like I belong more on defense.
Okay.
It's just how my brain works with it.
Yeah.
I just feel more natural.
Do you feel more that you'd be you're more aggressive on defense, or that's what you should be, or like what?
I agree. Like yeah, as a freshman, I always felt like I had to control my aggression, and on defense, I feel like I could just let it go.
Just let it loose, right? And go for it. Well, you said you came from 8-man football. You're from up in Sullivan County, New York, right? How did you get here to Lackawanna College? So
actually, one of my football coaches, Ron Bauer, he gave Coach Duda a call and said, "Hey, I got a player here. What do you think of him?" He saw the film. The next afternoon, he called me when I came back from school. He's like, "What are you doing Saturday?" And I was like, "I don't know. What's up?" He's like, "You want to come up here?" So I did. So that was my first visit here, and I didn't apply any other school. I just committed right here.
What was it about here that kind of made that decision for you?
Just the chance of hope, because where I'm from, a lot of other Division III schools were was getting in contact with me, but I thought I can go the upper level.
Yeah.
So finding out this college is a stepping stone program that will help my academics and give me a stepping stone into another program,
Right.
I thought it was the best hope for me.
Was that something you looked into, seeing some of the past players that have come through here and have gone on to the next level?
Not really. We did it because as a family, my family, I think taking stepping stones for me is easier than jumping into things.
Right.
So my family just wants me to play the best I can, and whenever or wherever I can play.
What was it like meeting Coach Duda for the first time?
It was pretty intense. I mean, I was out of high school. I didn't know anyone. Like, a lot of big dudes here. Where I'm from, I'm the only big dude. Yeah. So, like, meeting kids my size is like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Right. And then, he's got a firm handshake too, right? I'm sure you do, obviously, but he's kind of a big hulking individual, right?
It's intimidation, yeah.
What was the biggest difference you saw coming from 8-man to 11-man football?
8-man football is a lot faster than 11-man football. So 8-man, like high school games, plays like snap after snap after snap, and you don't get a breather basically. But when I started to go here, like after each snap, I'm waiting. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's taking so long? But it's a lot slower for me, and just readapting to 11-man was just it was a process. But.
Sure. Yeah, probably very different. What are you studying here at Lackawanna College?
Business-wise or major-wise?
Yeah.
So I got my associates last semester in business management, and then now I'm here part-time taking professional studies until I transfer to a different Division I program. Okay.
All right. What do you want to do with business management, and or what's your hope to do at the end of your career, at least in collegiately?
So I was born and raised on a poultry farm in upstate New York, so I can always have the farm to fall back on.
Sure.
But I want to get into cybersecurity or private security.
Okay.
So using my business management, I can learn how to run my own business. And business majors are variety.
Right.
You can do anything with.
Of course, yeah. It applies to just about anywhere, right? And obviously the goal would also be to continue to play football at the next level, right?
Have fun with it,
Yeah. Ride it as far as you can, right? So you're heading into the bye week now. Couple big games, obviously, at the end of the year, the Georgia military game looming, but still some games in front of that. What's the mindset for the team? What are you guys kind of talking about going into the last half of the season?
Well, we're 5-2 now.
It's 4-2.
4-2. So we're 4-2. I feel like this week is a good week to recover, get ready until next Monday. But when next Monday arrives, I think just have the chance to make it to a bowl game. I think we should lock in and just go for it,
Right. Just do what you have to do, right?
Do what we do.
Yeah. Go after it. You got Sussex in a couple weeks for homecoming, and then Hocking and Monroe on the road, and then home against Georgia military. I know we don't want to look ahead. You got to take every game as it comes, but I know that's probably got to be the game everybody's looking forward to towards the end of the season, right? Because that was obviously a tight game down there in Georgia, especially in the heat. You guys managed to put up a good fight down there. So we're looking forward to that. When you're not studying, when you're not playing football, what is it you like to do to unwind or to relax? What are things you like to do in your free time?
It's mainly active, so I love going to the gym. That's my hobby. That relaxing with friends, or just I'm more of an introvert guy. So I'm very to myself. Either I distract myself with film studying or looking up different stuff in the NFL. I just love to relax. Sometimes I read books. Okay. But most of the time it's more like mental, more relaxing.
Right. Okay. Very cool. Awesome. Well, Chris, we appreciate your time. Congrats on winning Athlete of the Week last week.
Thank you.
Congrats on all the success so far. We hope to keep talking to you guys, and hopefully we keep getting W's, and we talk about where we're going to go. That's the whole.
Pleasure having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. We'll be back with more. It's Falcons Corner. Take flight.
We are back on the Falcons Corner, part 2 of this terrific episode that we are having here this morning.
It is.
Yes.
Early
Voice of the
morning,
Falcons,
it's great.
Mike
Yeah,
Rickert,
a little
Coach
earlier than
Berg,
usual.
TD Tom.
Yeah, but no, you know how it's earlier because no one's walked in here yet.
I know, but I got to work.
You got to go work now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other way around usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Football.
Football.
Thanks for Chris Campanelli talking to us.
Did a
finally.
great job.
Yes. He came in and said, look at the shirt I'm wearing. I'm a coach, after he wore his polo.
I made sure to tell him before we went on air. I was like, no one dresses up for these things. So I
Yeah.
appreciate what
Was
you're
that
doing.
intentional?
He was wearing a polo.
He was all.
Well, it definitely was intentional. I watched the interview just now.
Yes, that's stuff too. Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, good job. I think you ruined it on everyone.
ruined the
Oh,
magic.
the magic. Whoa.
Oh man!
I don't know that Ferg's not wearing the same shirt either.
But he was very, very good. It was nice.
Did you have a red polo on yesterday?
I had a blue shirt. He and
Well,
I
he
matched.
changed.
Well, he doesn't. He's not on camera anymore, so we don't know.
Right, but he just changed for the interview. He got
But
spiffied,
as far as
spiffied up.
As far as he knows, everyone else knows he's wearing
Yeah.
a blue shirt now.
All right, yeah, he is.
Good job, Bert.
All right.
All right, so this week's athlete of the week is quarterback Brian Johnson, who got back into the starting lineup after an injury to Wyatt Hagan, and Brian played really well.
4 touchdowns.
And a nice victory, 44-13 victory over the Monroe University Mustangs.
Mustangs.
Yes.
Rivalry game.
Yep.
Always.
Always.
Always nice to get a win
Yeah,
over Monroe
it
in
was-
any sport.
It is.
It was one of the more complete defensive performance I think we've had in a minute. Just in terms of we really clamped down when we needed to, and yeah, they had a big touchdown pass at one point, and they threw a little bit, but I think it was negative 19 yards rushing for Monroe overall.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Just could not run the ball against the front seven, and the guys were flying around the football. Chris had a good game.
Right.
Andrew Marshall was everywhere.
he
He
was a beast.
He was up for athlete of the week consideration too. And then Brian looked a little rusty, which is
little
going to
bit,
happen.
But he used his legs a little bit when he had to too, so that.
Which was a
that
different
helped
element
him. Yep.
that we have not had so far this year, and that kind of kept Monroe's defense on their heels a little bit. And he threw some nice balls too. He had a really good go ball to Carmelo Taylor
Right.
For a touchdown. Had a couple nice read option passes that ended up going for big yards, and obviously had a 29-yard touchdown run too. That that was a big deal for him. So he played well.
So he had 2 passing and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a shout out to Keegan, our place kicker, who has been terrific all year. I hope I didn't give him the broadcaster's jinx.
I hope not too.
But he had a couple more field goals and completed all his extra points and stuff too. So he's been really good this year.
I think he tied a school record for most field goals in a game, which was 3, which a bunch of different, like Cam Sicotti's done it a bunch of times. And,
right.
And then he was just a point away. He had 14 points on Saturday, which is 1 shy of tying the school record for most points by a kicker in a game.
Right.
So he had himself. He's been very, very good. He's second in the country right now in terms of kicking, in terms of points. So he's been really, really accurate. Very, very good.
And I've even noticed a couple times with Coach Judah decision making on 4th downs, and sometimes in the past we may be going for it, but they're bringing Keegan out for 35 plus.
He knows he's got a reliable kicker.
Yeah, no, it's a weapon, especially as you go further into the season. People are banged up.
Yeah. So they're on a bye week this week, so there's no Falcon football. But despite that, we're at number 10 in the country.
Moved up.
Yes, we moved up a spot. So it'll be interesting to see coming off the bye week if we stay put at least.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember I don't think there's any big marquee matchups as far as what happens in football this week. I know the Mississippi schools are back after their bye week last week, but it's been kind of topsy-turvy in terms of who's good. And there's been a lot of good teams, but it's kind of Hutch and everybody else right now. So it'll be interesting to see how things shake out as the weeks get on.
Yep. So like I said, they're on a bye week, so they're getting through, recovering, doing a little bit of weight room stuff,
rest.
and then they'll be back at it next week. They're home with Sussex County Region 19 Bowl Part 2.
Part 2. That's right.
Yes.
Well-deserved rest, though, too. I mean, they were here August
Yeah.
1st.
Well timed too. They had a tough week last week and were able to come back and have that big win against Monroe. And I think everybody needs a break, needs some time off, and then you kind of reset for the last half of the season. You get homecoming next week.
Softball and baseball played this weekend. I don't know. I haven't talked to anyone how they made out and stuff too. But they were out there on playing and getting some stuff in. And then,
softball was at Marywood with them in Keystone.
Yep.
And then baseball hosted the reigning NCAA Division III national champions.
Yep.
Where through the first 9, I believe we did really, really well. And then the second 9,
Not so much. Right, and that was kind of the story last year when I was down at.
And that's kind of what you do. But I think it's very telling for us that I think Division III baseball, just like Division III softball, they get one play date in the fall.
Right.
And that they, as the reigning, NCAA Division III champs, they actually come here as well.
Yeah.
I just think that shows how well respected our program is and the relationship that the coaches have had for each other.
That Pete Egbert down in Misericordia and Coach McCary have.
But it sounds like it went really well from what you would expect, and then not so great after the fact. But it's almost 18 innings of baseball, I think.
And then winter sports are still doing their thing and stuff too. So
Practices,
it'll be right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean the men's basketball team, their first scrimmage is next Saturday, the 19th, like 2 Saturdays at Bloomsburg.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy.
Yep. All right.
The longest season in the history of life.
Yes.
Men's, women's basketball.
Yes. And then 5:08 tonight, Mets Phillies.
Yep.
And we'll leave it at that.
That's it.
You don't have to put the results there for it because I already know what's going to happen. I'm a Mets fan. All right.
That might explain.
Same. You got 2 Mets fans. How about that? Yeah. Is that why you're wearing your red today, you Philly fan?
I'm a Red Sox fan, so I'm not
better
worried
than a
about
Phillies
anything
fan.
right now.
Yes.
It's funny, in our group chat, there's some Philly fans and a handful of Mets fans, which is really, really odd,
Are you still not talking to Joe?
Who? That's the first thing I saw.
I'm not
Joe.
going to either now.
I was like, I'm not talking to you until this is over. He's like, what are you talking about? The game? I'm like, no, you know what I'm talking about. You figure it out. You're smart. You're an attorney. So Joseph Paparelli and I are on non-speaking terms until at least.
In fact, I'm going to go against them now.
Until
even though I've known him since I was 9.
Yeah, until at least Wednesday.
All right.
And we're not talking. Maybe, hopefully, I can start talking to him Thursday after the Mets win.
Yeah.
Only
if they win.
If the Phillies win the series, I'll never talk to Joe again. All right. I got to go to work.
Same.
All right. We'll see you next week on the Falcons Corner. Take flight.